Happy Friday the 13th, y'all. I think everybody to a certain degree has some fear or some kind of superstition about Friday the 13th. And I found an article in National Geographic that's kind of interesting called Where Our Fear of Friday the 13th Came From. And it says, another Friday the 13th is upon us, but don't despair. Experts say people may actually be safer on this infamous day, despite long-held beliefs of gloom and doom. And the cultural superstition may be good for mental health. Those psychological benefits can include an increased sense of order, said Rebecca Bora, a professor of English at the University of Cincinnati. In other words, superstitions are attempts to understand and even control fate in an uncertain world. When you have rules and you know how to play by them, it always seems a lot easier, Boris said. If you have Dracula, you can pretty much figure out how to avoid him, or go out and get garlic and be able to ward off evil. That's pretty comforting. People often avoid dangerous activities on Friday the 13th or take extra care to make sure they are well prepared for problems, Bora added. Some people may even stay at home. This can make it less crowded and congested for everyone else. Fear of the number 13. Still, Stuart Weiss, a professor of psychology at Connecticut College in New London, says irrational fears can also be unproductive. If nobody bothered to teach us about these negative taboo superstitions like Friday the 13th, we might be in fact all be better off, he said in 2013. People who harbor a Friday the 13th superstition may have a fear of the number 13 and often pass their belief to their children, he noted. Popular culture's obsession with fear, think of those Friday the 13th horror films, and even this story helps keep it alive, added Weiss, who is the author of Believing in Magic, A Psychology of Superstition. Although superstitions can be arbitrary, a fear of ladders or black cats, for example, once they are in the culture, we tend to honor them, said Thomas Glovich, a professor of psychology at Cornell University in New York. You feel like if you're going to ignore it, you're tempting fate, he explained in 2013. Origins rooted in religion. The trepidation surrounding Friday the 13th is rooted in religious beliefs surrounding the 13th guest at the Last Supper, who was Judas, the apostle said to have betrayed Jesus, and the crucifixion of Jesus on a Friday, which was known as Hangman's Day, and was already a source of anxiety, Weiss said. The two fears merged, resulting in this sort of double whammy of 13 following on an already nervous day, he said. The taboo against the number 13 spread with Christianity and into non-Christian areas, noted Philip Stevens Jr., an associate professor of anthropology at the University of Buffalo in New York. It became extremely widespread through the Euro-American world, embedded in culture and extremely persistent, he said. More interesting, he noted, is why people associate any Friday the 13th with bad luck. The answer, he said, is to do with what he calls principles of magical thinking found in cultures around the world. Most of these principles involve things or actions if they resemble other things in any way of resemblance, shape or sound, or odor or color. People tend to think those things are related and in a casual way. In this framework, there are 13 people present at the Last Supper, so anything connected to the number 13 is bad luck. Numerology. Thomas Fernsler, an associate policy scientist in the Mathematics and Science Education Resource Center at the University of Delaware in Newark, said the number 13 suffers because of its position after the number 12. According to Fernsler, numerologists consider 12 a complete number. There are 12 months in a year, 12 signs of the zodiacs, 12 gods of Olympus, 12 labors of Hercules, 12 tribes of Israel, and 12 apostles of Jesus. Fernsler said 13's association with bad luck has to do with just being a little beyond completeness. The number becomes restless or squirmy. Then there's Friday. Not only was Christ crucified on that day, but some biblical scholars believe Eve tempted Adam with the forbidden fruit on a Friday. How would they even know that? Perhaps the most significant is the belief that Abel was slain by his brother Cain on Friday the 13th. Negative effects. On Friday the 13th, some people are so crippled by fear that they lock themselves inside. Others have no choice but to grit their teeth and nervously get through the day. Interestingly, they may actually encounter a slightly less dangerous world. A 2008 study by the Dutch Center for Insurance Statistics revealed that fewer traffic accidents occur on Friday the 13th than on any other Friday. Reports of fire and theft also dropped, the study found. Nevertheless, many people will refuse to fly, buy a house, or act on a hot stock tip in actions that noticeably slow down economic activity, according to Donald Dawsey, a folklore historian and founder of the Stress Management Center and Phobia Institute in Asheville, North Carolina. It's been estimated that 800 or 900 million in the U.S. is lost in business on this day because people will not fly or do business as they normally would. To overcome fear, Vice said people should take small steps outside their comfort zone. Those who are afraid to leave the house could consider meeting a close friend at a cozy cafe, for example. Try some small thing that they would be reluctant to do under normal circumstances and gradually experience, hopefully, no horrible thing will happen when they push through and carry on. And that's the end of the article. So, do you have any Friday the 13th superstitions? Do you carry on business as normal, or do you kind of keep yourself locked in the house and just don't go out or do anything on a Friday the 13th? Let me know in your comments below. Y'all have a great day.